Hello, welcome to yoga. We are going to have a stretchy class today with probably a little bit of core. We'll lay down. We'll lay down to start with. Have a block and a strap nearby in case you need it. We will get to laying on our mat. Just start by just stretching. Oh my gosh, it feels so nice. Just stretch through one side of the body and then the other. And just take a moment just to clear the mind, settle the breath, and just relax. Start to find the length in the breath, the heaviness of the body, moving down into the mat, the clearing of the mind. Focusing in on that breath moving from the nose into the chest, into the tummy, and then out of the tummy through the chest, and maybe out of the mouth into releasing breaths. Just pulsing through one side and then the other, just stretching. Don't forget the fingertips. Think about stretching the webbing between the fingers, maybe even the webbing between the toes. And then when you're ready, up to you. You can take the hands down by the side of you. You can start in corpse pose. Or if you want to take the hands to the chest and the tummy, then you can do that. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to take some even breathing. So we're going to start with 4, then 5, then 6, and then work our way back down. But if you don't like that pattern, then do your own. Okay, so here we go. Let's take an inhale for the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feeling the breath moving through the body. Take a moment just to feel that heaviness of the body against the mat. Noticing how the body is sitting. Maybe the toes are still pointing towards the ceiling. Can we just encourage those ankles to release the toes to point to opposite corners? Just take a moment just to relax. And with your eyes closed, just see if you can set yourself an intention for today's practice. It could be anything. Visualize it in your mind's eye, hold it there. And then on your next inhale, imagine growing longer on your mat, thinking about lengthening through the crown of the head. And on your exhale, release through the mouth and sigh that breath away entirely. One more, take an inhale, lengthen on the mat. Imagine growing through the crown of the head, and then as you release through the mouth, sigh that breath away. We'll go for one more. Take an inhale, lengthening on the mat. And then exhale, send that breath away. Nice. All right, from here, just bring those knees in towards the chest. Hug yourself together for a moment. Keep the spine long. Think about the sit bones moving away from you. Push through the heels, shoulders back and down. Just a slight rock from side to side, gently warming up the body. And then beginning to take the knees in small circles. So just allowing those knees to be pushed away, draw back in towards the body. And then pausing at center this time, spread through those knees and then bring those knees back in, finding nice hip circles. You can work as hard or as not so hard as you want. As you push those knees away, the further they get, the harder your core is going to have to work. We're thinking here about pushing the lower back into the mat. We want to make sure that the core is drawn in. Okay, keep the body down, the gaze down the center line. And then let's switch it up. Bring the knees in towards you, take them wide and send them away. Embracing the clunks and the clicks as you begin to move through the body. Maybe you have been relatively sedentary today, and this is the first time you've been able to really move your body. Okay, last one here. Once we're here, bring those knees in towards the chest and then bring the forehead up to meet the knees. Take a moment here. Push through the heels. And then allow the head to come back down. We're going to lengthen those arms away from us. Draw the knees down towards the right-hand side. If you've got a block and you need to bring the floor up to you, then place the knees on a block or a cushion or a bolster, whatever you've got. If you're feeling super flexy, then you can take the knees down towards the mat. And then taking the gaze over those left fingertips if it feels good. If it doesn't, then it doesn't matter. Do what feels right for you. Okay, bringing those knees back up through center, bringing the gaze to neutral too, and then taking the knees down and over towards that left-hand side. Again, using a block to bring the floor up to you. Really need to bring the floor to me today. Taking a gaze over those right fingertips. Okay, gaze back to neutral. Let's bring the knees back up. Take the feet flat, tickle the back of the heels, and we're just going to keep those knees hip distance apart. Pop a block between the knees so that we can really squeeze against the block. And then we're just going to start with some pelvic tilts. So just engaging through the core as we bring the pelvis up and then just relaxing back down. Okay. Just playing around with that movement for a moment. Whilst we're here, focusing on squeezing the block, thinking about the heels pushing down, the knees are staying in line with the hips. Think about the shins moving forward and the heels pushing down. Meanwhile, the glutes are squeezing, hips are lifting, and we're starting to move up the spine now. Coming up to the midpoint and then roll all the way back down. This can be as fast or as slow that feels good for your body. Coming up a little bit higher and then a little bit higher still as we make our way up towards the shoulders. Next time you get to the shoulders, just stay at the top. We're going to pause here. We're going to push the hips towards the ceiling as we squeeze the glutes and squeeze the block. You can stay here. If you want a little bit of extra work, we're going to lower the bottom down to hover and then squeeze to lift, okay? So we're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. lower the bottom down, remove the block between the thighs. We're then going to roll all the way back up into our bridge. This time round, let's come into a really open-chested bridge. If this feels good for you, you can roll the shoulders underneath you, gripping through the hands, interlacing those fingers. Push the fist down into the mat, opening through the chest, rolling those shoulders back. You've got no block to squeeze now. Keep the gaze down the center line to protect the neck. Push the heels down. Keep the knees aligned with the hips and lifting through the hips as you squeeze the glutes. We're going to hold it here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Releasing the grip, roll those shoulders out. Engage the core, slowly lower down each vertebrae towards the mat, one at a time, nice and slowly. Once you're settled, take a moment, listen to your body. What does it need? Maybe you're going to bring those knees in towards the chest, giving yourself a hug together. Maybe you prefer to windscreen wiper those knees from side to side. Really take a moment to listen to what your body needs. I'm going to give you a moment just to settle. Okay. And then when you're ready, extend the right leg away from you. That left knee is going to come in towards that left shoulder. Interlace the fingers just below that left knee. Draw the shoulders back and down so the chest is open and push through both heels. Releasing off, that left sole comes into the inner thigh of that right leg. Come into a tree pose as you open out that left hip. That left knee comes down towards the mat. Come into cactus arms as the arms come to 90 degrees. If you have issues with your shoulders, then just find a space that is comfortable for you. We're going to push down ever so slightly into those forearms and elbows so we can start to very slightly lift through the chest. Engage the core to keep that lower back nice and secure. Dip the chin to the chest very slightly to lengthen the neck. Push through that right heel. A strong and sturdy tree. Okay, and then releasing off, extending that left leg down towards the right. Bring the arms above you. We're going to shift the hips to the left-hand side, the feet and the hands go to the right. You look like a blown palm on your mat or a banana. Either is fine. I'm going to keep the ankles side by side to start with. Think about that left hip driving down into the mat. Breathing. Inhale, exhale. Find that lovely opening through the ribs on that left side. And then if you have a little bit more, left ankle can cross over the right ankle. Right hand can take hold of that left wrist and just gently bringing that left arm over the top. Breathing deeply into the ribs, finding that stretch all the way down the ribs on that left side and into the IT band on that left leg. Try and create a little bit of space around the ears. Check the shoulders aren't lifting too much. And then releasing the grip around the wrist if that's where you are, and uncrossing those ankles. We're going to bring the body back to the center line. Okay, from here, let's draw the right knee in towards that right shoulder. Interlace the fingers just below that right knee. Push through both heels, shoulders away from ears. That knee just coming past the ribs. Again, just dropping that chin slightly to lengthen through the spine. And releasing, this time taking the sole of the foot in towards the inner left thigh, bringing the arms into cactus arms as you find yourself in a tree. Push through the left heel, allow that right knee to open up. If you're tight through the hips, pop a cushion or a block underneath that knee to bring the floor to you. And then pushing down through the forearms and elbows ever so slightly, just peeling the lower back off of the mat, and then just engaging the core to protect that lower back. Finding openness through the front body, stillness in your tree. And then starting to release your tree. We're going to extend the legs away. This time round, the hips go to the right-hand side of the mat. The feet and the hands come over to the left side, finding your blown palm or your banana, whatever you want to call it. And then we're just keeping those ankles side by side to start with. Nice openness all the way down that right side body. Drawing shoulders away from ears. Drawing that right hip down. And then if you have a little bit more space, that right ankle can cross over the left. And then maybe left hand takes right wrist to draw that right arm over. Just towards the left side a little bit more. Breathe into those right ribs. Really find those nice deep inhales to open between the ribs as those lungs expand. And as you exhale, enjoy the feeling of the shrinkage. Right hip still driving down. Deep stretch through the IT band. And then releasing the ankles, bringing the feet back to center, hands back to center. And then from here, we're just going to draw knees in towards the chest. Just take some circles on the lower back. Okay, pausing here, finding a happy baby, bringing knees in towards armpits, taking the outer edges of the feet with the hands. If you prefer to grab the big toe with the peace fingers, then do, entirely up to you. Drawing knees in towards the armpits, imagining that full length of the spine touching down on the mat. So going from crown of the head, reaching towards the back wall, dipping chin to chest slightly to get that extra length, and then imagining the sit bones looking at that back wall. If you find your hands don't quite reach your feet, perfect to use a strap, or take one side at a time, making it as accessible as possible. Using your breaths to bring those knees closer in towards you each time. And then drawing the knees together, giving yourself a hug together. We're going to cross a right leg over the top of the left, come into a cross-legged position, keeping the knees in line with the torso, just drawing, taking the hands to whatever is accessible to you. So maybe the ankles, maybe the toes, maybe the shins, just below the knees, just drawing those knees right in towards the chest, finding that deep stretch in the outer thigh of the leading leg. So in this case, we've got the right leg on top, the deep stretch into the glutes and the outer thigh on that right side. Check in with the shoulders. If they're right up by your ears, can you draw them away? And then releasing, switch over, left leg over the top of the right. Grab hold of whatever is accessible to you. Using your breath to bring those knees closer to you each time. Shoulders away from the ears. Use the breath to bring those knees closer in. And then releasing. Just bringing those knees in towards you, making little circles on the lower back. Just taking a moment just to decompress. And then when you're ready, we're going to rock and roll on the spine. Take your time here, there's no rush. And then cross those ankles and come into a table. Okay, a little bit of core work here, but not too much. First of all, setting yourself up in table, shoulders over the top of the wrists and hips over the top of the knees. Extend that right leg away and push through the heel. We want to keep the hips nice and level. If you want a little bit of core work, tuck the toes and hover the knee on the left side. That is going to make your core work. Push the hands down through the mat, separating those shoulder blades. Draw the core under. Certainly, if that left knee is lifted, you're going to really need to focus in on that. Okay, lowering down that left knee and untucking the toes. Extend the heel away from you so that right leg is lifted now. Left arm alongside the ear, reaching forward, pushing back. Draw the core under. Nice, strong, stabilizing muscles here. Just holding it, breathing there. Body down the center line, reaching forward and pushing back. Left hand comes down, right knee comes down. Take that right foot out as a kickstand, left leg comes long. Reach that left arm all the way over the top, find a gate pose. Push down the pinky edge side of that left foot into the mat. Take the gaze to the ceiling if it feels good. Option for core, if you would like it, we're going to lift that left leg, elbow to knee, and send away for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that left leg lifting and then lower. Find your gate pose. Left hand's going to come down. Left knee's going to come down. Take a child's pose. Bring the knees together. Forehead comes down. Take the hands behind you, palms up. Allow the shoulders to come over the top of the knees. And then maybe a slight sway from side to side. Coming all the way back out nice and slowly, carefully. Hands come back down into your table. Extend that left leg away. Push through the heel, hips nice and level. If you want a bit of core, tuck the toes, hover that right knee. Really focusing in here and drawing that belly under, pushing through the heel on that left side, lengthening the back of that left leg. And then lowering that right knee if it's lifted, untucking the toes, and then lift that left leg. Draw the belly in, strong glute, keeping that left leg lifted. And then that right arm is going to come alongside the ear, reaching forward and pushing back. Belly tucked in. We're going to hold it here, focusing in on lengthening, gaze down so the neck is long. And then the hand comes down, knee comes down, left foot comes out as a kickstand, right leg comes away. Find a gate pose as that right arm comes all the way over the top of that right ear. Take a nice deep breath and then exhale from the mouth as you cleanse that breath away. Option here to do a little bit of core work. We're going to lift that right leg, push through the heel and then elbow to knee. And for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that leg lifted, proving you can. Lower down and then find your gate pose one more time. Right hand comes down, left knee comes down. Take the feet together, knees as wide as the mat. Sit back into a wide-legged child's pose. Bring the chest down. Take the hands together. Pass the hands over the top of the head. Thumbs come to rest on the nape of the neck as you really spread through those fingertips. Passing the hands back over the top. We're going to come back into our table. We're going to tuck the toes, chest to thighs, find a down dog as you lift the bottom to the ceiling and start to pedal out the heels one at a time. Wiggle through the bottom. Really nice exaggerated movements, just loosening up through that lower back, lengthening through the backs of the legs. Okay, we're going to take the right leg high and then open the hips to the right as we take the foot to the right foot towards the bottom, finding that groin and quad stretch. Happy to stay here if you want a little bit of core work. Right knee high on the right elbow, over to the left, over to the right, back to your 3-legged dog. We'll go 2 more. Right knee, right elbow, left, right, and away. Last one, right knee, right elbow, left, right, and away. Right foot through the hands, left hand stays down. Open the chest round to the right, lifting that right hand to the ceiling, and then wrap that hand all the way behind you to touch the top of that left thigh if it feels good. Bringing that right hand back down. We're going to take the right foot back to join the left downward facing dog. This time left leg's going to come high. Reach toes to ceiling. Open hips to the left and bring that left foot towards the bottom. Glutes are squeezing, hips push forward for a quad stretch and groin stretch. And then if you want to stay here, great. If you want a bit of core work, here we go. Left knee high on that left elbow, over to the right, over to the left, and three-legged dog. Two more. Left knee, left elbow, right elbow, left elbow, and away. Last one. Left knee, left elbow, right elbow, left elbow, three-legged dog. Left foot through the hands, right hand stays down, open through that left side. Maybe left hand can touch the top of that right thigh, rolling that left shoulder back, gazing wherever feels good for you. Left hand comes down. We're going to come and bring that left foot back to join the right pedal out those heels. Okay, take that right foot through the hands, walk the hands round to the long edge of the mat. We're going to take a bend through that right knee. Take the toes on the left side towards the ceiling. Use a block underneath the heel if the heel is lifted. Right hand comes down, left arm comes all the way over. Taking that gaze up. Nice deep stretch. And then that left hand is going to place down. Remove the block. From here, lift the bottom. Bend into that left knee, turn the toes on the right side to the ceiling, block underneath the left foot if that feels good for you, gives you a bit more security. Left hand comes down, right arm is going to lift. And the gaze comes wherever feels good. Okay, releasing the block. Take the hands down, lift through the bottom. We're going to heel toe the feet in, coming into a goddess pose. As we turn the feet out at 45-degree angles, we're going to sink the bottom down. We want our knees over the top of the ankles. If we need to widen the stance, then we do. And we're going to tuck the tailbone under. So the glutes are squeezing. So rather than having this arch in the back, we're going to roll the pelvis under. We're going to come into cactus arms. All right, nice. Going to squeeze the glutes and lift. And then come all the way back down. Each time we come down, can we come down a little bit lower? Don't know. Here we go, squeeze to lift. And lower. Lovely. Last one here, squeeze to lift. And lower. With some control, come to the toes on the right side. And lower, toes on the left side. And lower. Can we do both toes? Oh gosh, my core is having to work so hard here. Keep the tailbone tucked under. And lower. Nice job. Hands are going to come down. Heel toe those feet in. My thighs are burning. If you need to stand up and jump around for a minute, then do. Come into a squat. Maybe you want to move around a little bit to begin with. Maybe you want to come into a static pose. If you are finding that your spine is rounding, place a block underneath the bottom to give you that lift. If you find that your heels are lifting, then pop something under there to give you a little bit of stability. Okay. Just beginning to release, get rid of any blocks or anything that are in your way. We're going to roll back onto the bottom. Up to you whether you lay straight down or if you want to come via boat. I'm going to sit up nice and tall, bring those shins up, engage the core, lengthen the spine. Can we sit up a little bit taller? And then just extend those legs away. Bring it all back together. You run a tight ship. Okay, another one. Bring it back together. And then your last one here. Those of you already in corpse pose waiting, well done you. Bring it all the way back together. And we sit up a little bit taller. And then up to you. If you want to go down by a dish, then do. If you want to lay straight down, then do. Taking a moment just once you're down to just find a comfortable position for you just to rest in. Taking a moment to maybe make little circles on the lower back, maybe sway those legs from side to side, just resettling the body, resettling the breath. Just taking a moment to rest. And then when you're ready, I invite you just to close off the eyes. Just beginning to notice the breath traveling in and traveling out. I want you to focus in on the breath, and we're going to go out the way we started with some simple, even breathing. I'm going to take an inhale for the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. I invite you to go back to your intention from the beginning of class today. Remind yourself, refocus on it, hold it there. Feeling that relaxation moving through the body, a slow breath, a heaviness against you on the mat. And knowing now that it is the time to start to move the body and awaken the body. Knowing that you need to bring your awareness back to the moment that you are in. Perhaps listening in to the sounds that you've managed to block out, the smells, the sensations. Just taking a moment perhaps to wiggle the toes and the fingertips, maybe stretching through one side of the body, then the other. And then when you are ready, really slowly, carefully, start to bring yourself back up to a seated position. And I will be there.